There's the Ford 2.3 liter crankshaft seal puller right there. Grabs either side of the seal. That end's got a 5/8 hex, and then the screw that holds the two little pieces together is it's a 9/16. So it grabs either side of the seal and you work it out. This is on a 1994 Ford Ranger. Here's a new seal, and these features right here grab on the edge of the seal to pull that out. Use that knob there to tighten it up. It's got a little feature right there, kind of grabs behind the edge of the seal. I used this little pick tool that came with the seal removal kit and kind of got behind the edge to get the grease out so I could grab behind it because it wasn't really grabbing. I tried some of these tools and it couldn't get enough bearing under there to pull it out of there. I tried the screwdriver method and it was just tearing the seal up. So that's why I got the genuine Ford tool. I've got it about a good bit of the way out of there. Kind of a sick feeling because it was stuck in there. So I started tearing the heck out of the seal. And then because I tore it up, I couldn't get the tool to grab. So I ended up putting a mirror down in here like this so I could go look to see what the heck I was doing with the flashlight. And I got in here with the pick and cleaned out behind the edge of the seal so I could grab it. Okay, it just popped out. So this goes on here. This is a T74P-6700-B. That's a tool. 74 means it was probably designed by Ford in 74. But this seal I'm not really proud of. I really had this thing torn up to pieces. So I got it behind here with the screwdriver and tried to pry it out. I tried some of the leveraging tools over onto some features here, and I was just tearing the crap out of it. So this particular one went underwater in Katrina, so kind of a mess. The crankshaft sprocket was an absolute booger bear to get off, even with the proper tool. And so now I got the seal out of there. It's a big, big goal. That's what it looks like under there. The seal I just pulled out of there. I don't really see the garter spring on there. It's either when they installed it, they may have banged it in there and it popped out. But this has been in there since I think it's about 55,000-60,000. But it was put in a long time ago, way before Katrina, so it's put in about, say, 15 plus 2, maybe 17, 18 years ago. So I need to go in there and fish out. I think I can see it in there. I'm going to go through and see if I can fish out any crud that's under there. Right there, it might be a part of the spring. Might get a shop vac and see if I can get some of the crap out of there. Also go in the shaft and see if I can put some paper towels and clean it up, see what it looks like. But this tool really did the trick. I think it was only about 35-40 bucks off eBay. There it is. T74P-6700-B. Out. Because I, kind of tried the screwdriver method and it didn't come out of there. It wasn't really grabbing up on here. So I rotated it around and using the pick, getting behind this edge and getting the grub, the old grease and stuff, 20 years worth of crap out of there. I was finally able to get the edge to grab. That's that edge right there. And then this is a little bit funky because of the way this is. So I was using a new seal to make sure I had this just about set right. And then going through and sticking it in there, and honestly I had a bunch of false starts, so it was kind of disappointing. And then once I finally got it to grab, I snugged this down with the 9/16 inch box wrench. I tried a socket at first and they kept on pushing down, which wasn't good, and I found the wrench worked better because then you're just in here just not pushing down on this. And a couple times it popped off, and once I finally cleaned behind it and got it the first go, then it would solidly grab. So it came off once or twice during the pull. I squirted some Croil in there too last weekend. Okay, let's see. Can you see this or not? Using this seal tool kit there, I got the garter spring out. Didn't want that to go down in the... There it is. That's kind of scary. I think all this damage was done with the screwdriver technique. Doesn't look like it's got any rust around the edge here, but that had some surface rust on that. Sucker was really stuck. Then the other methods are this pry deal here. Get up underneath the edge. There's one by Leslie that has a smaller version of that, and then there's one that has two little prongs that try to get behind it. And I bought one of those with the installer, another kit. And there's the new one. Again, I was always constantly taking the tool out, making sure this gap was about the right size, because I couldn't really see what the heck I was doing trying to grab that edge. So since I've done this once now, I've kind of got it down, but this tool was well worth it. I don't want to have this thing towed to a shop and then have them mess with it. Now if you scratch up the shaft, the seal's not going to go ahead and seal. Now these new seals I got with the kit, they've got some magic grease you put on here. And the seal install kit that's got a bunch of concentric rings, you can slowly use the crankshaft bolt and slowly push it in so you're not banging on it. If you bang on it, you can have the spring pop off, which is kind of a dangerous thing. So sometimes people put some grease or something on there. If you tap it in, if the spring pops off, it's still going to seal, but long term the rubber's going to creep on you, move back, and then you're going to have a leak. If you scratch the shaft up by going in here with the screwdriver, that'll actually have a leak. So when I was prying this, I was trying to pry away. I wasn't trying to hit the shaft here. And I actually had a pair of vice grips. I really was wailing on this thing. And I had a board back here so that I wasn't going to fly back and hit the condenser here for the air conditioner. I got the radiator out, of course, but I was really pulling on this thing. I didn't want to budge at all. And I used some of these other tools. Was grabbing behind here and just pulling like a son of a gun. It didn't go at all. And I had one of these from another kit I tried, and I couldn't pry it out that way either. That's why I ended up buying the Ford tool. I think it all depends on just how many miles or how much corrosion you've got. I think there was some corrosion right here on that inner lip there that was holding it. You can see some rust. Once you've got that, it's just almost like it's bonded on there. Here's a set of spacers from the seal install kit, using to press the seal in. Seal looks like this, and I've got it lubricated with some of the seal stuff on the inside. Put a little bit around the outside too. All these set of concentric rings, you can find a set that would just put this on there. This is the crankshaft bolt 7/8, so I just turn over by hand and it just goes in real easy. Okay, there's the seal. It's in. I'm going to put a mirror down here so it's easier to see. I always like to have a spare seal on hand because I've actually tapped them in or pushed them in and got them boogered up before, so looks like it's all square in there. I'll zoom in and look. You can see the keyway there. That's smaller than the surface. The radius in that's smaller than where the surface is the seal rides on. So the shaft is stepped. 2.3 liter 1994 Mazda B2300, basically a Ford Ranger. So we got the front seal replaced. That was the job. Glad I did it, but wouldn't have been able to do it without the puller, at least for the crankcase, crank sprocket, and then the other one, I used the other puller for getting the seal out. It was really stuck in there. See, there's the new seal on the 2.3 liter. And here's the seal kit install that presses it in. You can tap it in with a pipe. This is the puller that came with the seal kit. This has got little edges you can get in there and try to grab. I was using this and I couldn't, started to bend them because it was stuck in there so much. That's why I got the Ford tool. But this normally works on one that probably is not been in there forever, rusted in there. Then you also have the pick type. You just go in there and pull it with one of these. This is the offset type. Grabs it, and then you have a piece here you can put to leverage it. And there's one from Leslie, whatever it is, sealed puller. It's got this little edge here that grabs, and you put this on something like the shaft or something else, and you cock it back and forth to get it out of there. Moves camshaft and crankshaft seals, a lot of damage to the shaft. So there's a lot of different things used. Some people use a screwdriver. All depends on how well it's stuck in there, how much room you've got. I end up using this kit, this little gizmo, to get up and clean the crap behind the seal, because the Ford tool wouldn't grab until I got all the crud out from behind it. So this was invaluable to get up in there. And I was pulling on it after I used the screwdriver with here, all I could pull, and I was worried I was going to bash into the condenser, so I had a board behind there. And then I tried this, end up using the Ford tool.